Hello, my loyal listeners. This is your evil black bunny speaking, coming to you from the year 2014. Can't believe we made it, huh? Now, before we begin this installment of Pasta Bites, I'd like to make a few small announcements. Don't worry, we'll get to the pastas soon enough. The first announcement being that I am no longer going to be following my usual upload every 4-day schedule. Because of my growing popularity and the second announcement, I have decided to upload every 3 days. Alright, the second announcement is, well, more concerning me, and sort of concerning you. I have been accepted as a YouTube partner. Holy crap! This is awesome. But I would like to inform you that that will mean there will be more advertisements. But I hope that isn't too much of an issue. Alright, that's pretty much it. So, without any further ado, sit back, relax, turn off the lights, and ignore the biting at your ankles. They just want to play. A Killer Fable. Gather close and let me spin you a tale. Let me help you cast aside your tiresome day and mundane woes with the gift of a story. Don't worry about compensation. Really, you are the one doing me a favor, for I have so few opportunities to spin a truly killer fable. Once there was a raconteur who grew up on a farm, full of optimism and faith in the human spirit, wanting nothing more than to bring a tiny seed of country wisdom to the metallic city he set out on. Sadly, the city was a much sharper a foe than the simple country boy had envisioned. Upon arrival to the city, all his possessions were stolen. After a few muggings and burglaries, the fleeting futility of ownership was made abundantly clear to him. Bruised and beaten, he was turned away from the vendors who would not spare even a botched morsel of their poor, wretched soul. That was when the boy realized that during his entire journey, the city had been working in him like a prison. Eventually, he was as hard and sharp as those who had abused him, possibly even sharper. Moral: never fall victim to the distractions of a charismatic mugger, especially when witnesses can be such a bother. Have you seen that new street between Dove Lane and East Finch? One day there was no street, and the next day there was, freshly paved with a sign and a name. A new street isn't amazing, of course, it's just something that happens. But when it seems to happen overnight, well, that's odd, but not the kind of thing people really wonder about. The typical response is, huh, when did they put that in? Accompanied by a shrug. Some people, however, are always curious, and other people just need to go in that direction. So down the street they'll drive their cars, looking ahead, looking around, not really paying attention to how the curbs begin to rise and move closer, quickly becoming much too cramped to turn around in. Or how the manhole covers grind open all on their own. Or how the sewer grates widen and leer like hungry old men with cracked yellow teeth. How they hiss. If you happen to look down the street from outside at that moment, you might see those cars stop and begin to back up in alarm. But then if you blink, the street will be gone. To where? You never know. The next time it appears in another place, it might look like it's been there for years. It might be paved, cobbled, or made of dirt. It might even have a different name. Perhaps something other than Swallow Street. Or perhaps not. Streets like that are funny. In due time. Everything happens in due time. That's what I've always believed in. I've always believed in that one day where everything changes, where everything would be drastically improved, for better or for worse. But only in due time. I don't remember much of that day for me, but I remember holding my baby girl and smiling at her as her eyes scrunched up in the harsh hospital light. And I knew on that day that she would make everything change. She would make me famous. She would give me a name. And with that, I threw her out the window. It wasn't that loud of a splat, and it most certainly wasn't her screaming her head off. I looked down to see a shower of broken glass twinkle down over her mottled form, and the lady covered in entrails and blood. It was beautiful. And so here I am, famous as I can be, in a nice gray cell with lots and lots of friends to talk to. They all know me, and so do the people outside of my happy little home. I get daily meals, and I get to chill for 90% of my day. And it all came to me so easily. All in due time. I want to be human. I follow you every day. Sometimes I wait for you at the bus stop. Most times I hide behind the bushes a few feet from you. I am taller than you, give or take the time of the day. You see, time is always against me. I have nothing else to do but follow you. You, it's always about you. And in the night I disappear. As you sleep, I touch you all over and have my way. It doesn't help that I'm a mere shell of your former self. I gave up my whole life for you, but now it's time for you to go away. I'm choking you now. Please die. Please. I want to be the human. You can be the shadow. Until it's too late. I smile as I walk down the street with my pocket knife, the weapon I use to slit their throats wide open. The blade piercing the skin, the blood, the screams, the look of horror in their eyes. My smile grows wider as I approach the house, pick the lock, and silently open the door. I walk through the house, scanning each room for my target until I spot them. I grin as I watch my next victim, unaware of my presence, oblivious to what I am about to do. I take the knife out of my pocket and walk closer, closer, until I am right behind my prey. I stand silently, waiting for the perfect moment. You sit in your chair reading in the comfort of your home. You may be getting nervous as you listen to this description of yourself, but you tell yourself that you are not in any real danger. Are you? They never find out until it's too late. Alright, I think that's enough for one night. I know it's a bit shorter than the regular pasta bites that you're all used to, but I've got a lot of work ahead of me, and I wanted to start off the new year with something that people enjoy. Can you blame me? Before we draw this to a close, I would like to thank the new subreddit called Dark Tales, which I pulled most of these stories from. I've submitted one or two things there myself, and am really enjoying seeing some new, fresh things. Everything from little bites to massive tomes, and it's all horror. So go over there and check them out. You never know. You may find something you like. This has been the 7th installment of Pasta Bites. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, they just want to play.